Hey guys, this is Clay Hand Building with Arrow, or Big Kid. Nice to meet you. We're making what's called pinch pot monsters today, which is what I have here. This is a previous one I've done. This takes about a ½ pound of clay or more. You can use a pound or more if you like, but most people start typically with a ½ pound, and that will get you the mouth of the monster plus your decorative elements. You should separate them preemptively because it's hard to take off once you've already made the pinch pot. You can go ahead and set those decorative elements aside. It's best to wet your hands a little bit. That's why we provide water for you to use. You should roll it in a ball. That's how we start a pinch pot. You're gonna shove your thumb into the middle of this, just like so. You're gonna look like you have a really big thumb for a moment. And then you're gonna do what the name entails, pinch pot. So you're gonna pinch all the way around until it is the size and thickness you want. You could stop here, but it's really thick, and that the thicker something is, the longer it takes to dry, the longer you have to wait for it to go in the oven. We usually tell people about 4 weeks just to ensure dryness, because otherwise it does explode. Moisture makes things explode. Keep going until it's however thick and big you want it. I usually use my palm for extra strength. Keep wetting your hands, it makes things easier. You can go all the way around, over and over, and don't worry about the shape right now. Really, you just need to worry about getting it to the size you want, because you can always reshape it. Just needs to be the size and thickness that you want it to be. Now, most people use these for a dish sponge holder, so they shove it in the mouth of the monster and use it as a dish sponge holder. You could use it for just about anything. He could hold plants if you make it deep enough to make it a little succulent plant pot holder. Always go around and around. You could stop here. I'm going to make him a little bit thinner at the bottom, because again, the thicker it is, the longer it takes to dry. We're gonna add a little water to the rim and smooth that out. After we squish it into kind of a football shape, you can leave it open, but that's a decorative choice. We usually squish it to the side so he looks kind of like a weird taco holder. You're just gonna set him on the table. You want to make sure whichever way you're having it sits flat and even on the table. You can either have it sit like this or like this, but it needs to sit flat and even so that when it dries, it doesn't warp and it stays however you intended it to stay. So you're gonna fix up all those cracks, and I'm gonna take my very first tool. It's kind of like a hook tool. I'm gonna wet it. I'm gonna use it to cover up some little cracks that have started over here. And then I'm gonna smooth it out with my finger. I was just filling the holes. Now that we've made our base piece right here, I'm going to go on and take our decorative bits, because now how simple it is. We're gonna take off enough for the eyes. Make some pretty decent eyes here. 2 balls. We're gonna take a little bit of water on our hand. I'll roll it up. And then we're gonna smooth out all these cracks here. All right, now that we've got one ball nice and smoothed out, we're gonna move on to the other. And now that we have the 2 balls here, on the top of our head, we are going to make space here and here. By that, I mean we're going to do what's called scoring. We're gonna take our little rake tool, very important, very important. And we're going to rake over the spot that we want the eyes to be, both ways. Make sure you get it nice and textured. This is what helps bond your clay to each other. You don't do this and it does fall off, and a lot of time is spent on repairs to make sure that your piece turns out wonderful. But I'd like everyone to score thoroughly. You do it on both sides, nice and rough. You want texture, you can always smooth it out later. I prefer more texture over less. You dip in the water a little bit. A lot of people use vinegar or slip, which is liquid clay, but we use water here. You're just gonna smooth it down and stick it on there. We're gonna do the same to the other eye. Make sure to put your thumb in between these 2 pieces, because otherwise your inside mouth is gonna cave in. And then you're going to take your nice little scoopy tool here. You're going to take it and take a little bit of your clay over here. I usually just kind of rake it and scoop it up. And then I shove it into the cracks so that it's nice and filled and you don't have to worry about the thing cracking on you. When it's drying, a lot of these will shrink, which means it'll separate if you don't have a good seal on it and if it doesn't dry evenly. Alrighty, now that you've done that, you can go ahead and take a paintbrush, put some water on it, you can smooth it out. So now that we've got the eyes on, we can go ahead, see we still have decorating elements here. We can take a little bit, we'll work it up, get a little bit of water going into it so that we can separate it off really easy. I take a portion of this flat piece that I made here. We're gonna make teeth. Now, I'm a little bit extra, so I'm gonna make some big teeth and then I'm gonna make some small teeth. And just like with the eyes, we're gonna score very, very well. You don't score, it doesn't stay. It doesn't stay, you don't get to have your pretty piece. Right now I'm just taking the ball that I just made out of a separate piece of clay. I'm squishing it up into a tooth pattern. We're gonna score, yet again, right here, both ways. We're going to score on the tooth, the bottom that's going to attach. We're going to squish it on there. We're going to use our tool. It's going to help us attach it down solid. Now that we've squished it down, I'm going to take some water and go over it. And I know it doesn't look very toothular right now because it is facing forward, but I'm just moving it out of the way so I can smooth the inside out. And then I'm going to bend it back the way I want it. He's just a little guy. So now that we've gotten him all fixed up there, I'm gonna add him a little crown and then he will be done. And then you can paint at your own pleasure. As for the painting, you can paint this right after it's done. You paint right while it's wet. You do your 3 coats. This one was done the exact same way. Now, as you can see, any part that's not painted will not be shiny, but that means we leave the bottom completely unpainted. You will always leave the bottom unpainted on these projects. And that goes for anything that you make. That offers, one, a little bit of stability. That means it won't slide right off the table. But then it also offers the part where we can't have any paint on the bottom. We have to wipe it off. So take that into account when you're making all your projects. Anything that you don't paint your 4 coats won't be shiny, 3 to 4 coats. Make sure you cover everything. We don't put a clear glaze on any of this, so it is not food safe, especially if you don't cover everything. Wait, you like my monster?